What's up travelers, MGR back again, and we're continuing the 5-star showcases. For today we are looking at one of my favorite units overall, Keqing. I don't know what it is about her that I like so much. Maybe it's the fake cat girl look, or the fact that she reminds me so much of Virgil from the Devil May Cry series, especially when she does her ult. Without further ado, let's go. Keqing's Ascension stat is crit damage, and as you know by now, we take those. I am using the Black Sword along with her, mainly for the crit rate boost. However, her best in slot is the Primordial Jade Cutter or the Aquila Favonia. If you do not have access to those, of course, like I said, the Black Sword from the Battle Pass or the Black Cliff Sword from the Paimon shop, if you have the crit rate to support the additional crit damage. Otherwise, you can also run the Festering Desire, or the Flute is also a good choice. However, if you have a Lion's Roar, even better. And if you're learning physical Keqing, you could be using the Prototype Rancor. For artifact sets, as always, your artifact subsets are the most important part, and just because we recommend artifact sets does not make it the be-all and end-all of your build. I actually followed my own advice for a change, moved around some artifacts, and now I am incredibly impressed with how Keqing turned out, which we'll hopefully see in the gameplay. Just to show you what I mean, I used to run her with a 4-piece Thundersoother, which ended up giving me 81% crit rate and 153% crit damage with 1734 attack. However, going through some of my artifacts, I realized I can make the build much better, and now we have 82% crit rate with 206% crit damage, as well as 1749 attack. So, always remember, go through your artifacts and see where you can improve. My current artifact set is 2-piece Thundering Fury with 2-piece Gladiators for now, giving me 15% electro damage bonus, as well as 18% attack. As I mentioned, I used to run my Keqing with a 4-piece Thundersoother. The 2-piece set is trash, but the 4-piece set increases your damage by 35% whenever an enemy is affected by Electro. And as you'll see, Keqing almost has Electro-affected enemies 100% of the time. If you're running a physical Keqing, you would be using 2-piece Bloodstained Chivalry with 2-piece Pale Flame, but since Keqing has such a low cooldown on her E, you are able to run the 4-piece Pale Flame with no problems. For stat priorities on Keqing, you are looking for crit rate and crit damage, and your second priority is attack and flat attack. The other stats, energy recharge, defense, HP, and elemental mastery don't matter as much. Keqing has a low burst cost of 40 for her burst, so you get it back very frequently. I don't know why I exited. I am running attack percent, electro damage goblet, and crit damage circlet. This will of course depend on your personal crit ratio. I can run the crit damage circlet because I have enough crit rate, but if you are needing, you should use a crit rate circlet. If you're running physical Keqing, you will be using an attack percent sands, a physical damage goblet, and again, depending on what your crit ratio is, a crit damage or crit rate circlet. I have a C2 Keqing, Thundering Might, recasting Stellar Restoration, which is her E, while Lightning Stiletto is present, causes Keqing to deal 50% of her attack as AoE electric damage, which you will see in the video. Her E does massive damage. And Keen Extraction, when Keqing's normal and charged attack hit an opponent affected by Electro, they have a 50% chance of producing elemental particles. This is why you don't need as much energy recharge on Keqing. And her talents are all 888. I have her 2 passes unlocked, Thundering Penance, as well as Aristocratic Dignity. For our team comp, we are using GeoDaddy Zhongli as always for the shield, so we can focus on DPS. A new member to the cast, Albedo, who isn't going to do anything, he's just here for geo resonance, bigger shield and a 15% damage increase. And another new member, Shincho. With that being said, let's get on to the damage. I am always in awe what an absolute unit Mercenary is.
Speed of light! Nowhere to hide. Incoming!
Gather!
Another thing about Keqing, her E is also very versatile, like Rosario's, being able to move you around the battlefield, either to dodge enemy attacks, or just to bring you closer to the enemy themselves. And as you can see, without any support, we're already at the second phase.
With sword from shadow.
I'm ready!
Incoming!
Fall before me!
Don't blink!
It's over! Take this!
There are two main ways you can use Keqing for auto-attacking.
Speed of
You
light!
could either use her E and then just do charge attacks.
Ready!
However, I do prefer using her auto-attack chain, just looking so stylish. On to... We have removed Shinto from the team, so we can use Barbara, and hopefully break this core as fast as
Go,
possible.
Barbara, go!
Gather!
Cut to the chase! Hey! Don't blink!
Oh, almost a nice comfortable one phase. For those wondering, I am not using furling tails on my Barbara, so Keqing is not getting an attack increase. Let's just end it like that. We are finally at the Primo Bishop. We will be using a team composition of Geodaddy, Zhongli, Albedo, Shincho, and of course, Keqing.
Coming to be! Witness my great undertaking!
Let me weave you a verse. Body and mind.
Cut to the chase! Incoming! With sword from shadow.
Burst forth!
Speed of light.
Solidify!
Don't blink.
Rain outlines your fate.
Incoming. Cut to the chase.
Solidify!
Speed of light.
You know what, we haven't used Bennett Boy in a while, so we're doing another one. Zhongli, Xianglin, Bennett, and the Queen herself. Let's go.
Stabilize!
Oh, of course you go on the ground.
Everybody stand back! Eat this! Nowhere to hide. Don't blink!
Solidify!
Speed of light! With sword comes shadow.
Literally just moved me out of my entire ult.
Nice and spicy! Don't blink! Let's light it up! Speed of light!
For the stats of the characters that I used, Bennett
Benny's advent.
with Favonius Sword and 4-piece Noblesse Oblige, Changling, 4-piece Crimson Witch, Skyward Pine, and her stats, Keqing with the Black Sword, 2-piece Thundering Fury, 2-piece Glad, Zhongli with Prototype Star Glitter, as well as Tenacity of the Millionth, 4-piece, Albedo with the Festering Desire, 4-piece Noblesse Oblige, and finally Xingqiu. Yes, I know he can use a lot of work, we'll get there. With Sacrificial Sword, as well as 2-piece Noblesse, 2-piece Heart of Death. There we go. That is my Keqing build. Sorry if I was simping for the queen. It's always great to see a character you actually invest in become so powerful. It is unfortunate that Keqing was one of the 5 OG 5-stars that were released, because she does have a low scaling on her damage overall, and she has been power crept over these last few months. I fully believe that if Keqing was released in this time period, when Ganyu, Zhao, Hu Tao, Eula, Ayako were released, then she would have been absolutely broken in the game. Because MiHoYo is clearly taking a different route when designing 5-stars. If we look at Yoimiya and Ball that is coming soon, Kokomi as well, they all tend to be more utility based along with DPS, instead of just being outright broken DPS like these 6 5-stars. But anyway, if you did like the video, please consider liking, and if you want to see more content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. MGR